Alright, answer should be 3. Guys, shush. 3. Why is that not coming up? There we go. Alright, we're up number 2. Alright, answer for this one is 20. Number 3.
My face a little bit. Can I go bathroom?
Alright, answer is number 4.
Well, I'm bleeding. I think that should count.
Go ahead and bring the lottery number up. Okay, numbers for today are 8 and 5. 8.
The bleeding face problem.
Alright, answer number 1 is S.
I knew that.
Number 2 is A. And number 3 is 34 degrees. Okay, number 4 is angle T. Number 5 is BC. And number 6 is AC. Alright, number 7 is ST. Number 8 is CA. Number 9, x is equal to 16. And number 10, y should be 6. Are there any questions on the homework? Okay, answer for number 1 is 60 degrees. You guys. Number 2 is AC. Number 3 is 30. And number 4 is 10. Alright, our objectives for today are to go over the properties of parallelograms and the volume of a cylinder. Our learning targets are to determine the length of sides and measure of the angles of parallelograms, and to determine the height or volume of a cylinder. So for example, problem number 1. First of all, what's a parallelogram?
All sides parallel.
We have 2 sets of parallel sides. That's what makes a parallelogram. It's quadrilateral, 2 sets of parallel sides. Parallelograms have opposite angles that are congruent. That means that A is opposite of C, so they're going to be equal. And B is opposite of D, so they're going to be equal as well. So if angle D is 52 degrees, what's the measure of angle B?
52 degrees.
52 degrees is going to be the same. They're opposite angles, and opposite angles in parallelograms are congruent. Okay, consecutive angles are supplementary. What does consecutive mean? Consecutive angles mean that they're the angles that are next to or adjacent to the angle that you're looking at. So if we take D, consecutive angle to D would be A or C. Those are their consecutive angles. If you look at A, the consecutive angles to A and D are consecutive, and A and B are consecutive. What does supplementary mean? Alright, it means that you add up the 2 angles and it's going to equal 180 degrees.
Yeah, because I remember that's what.
So if we take angle D, it is consecutive to angle A. So that means they're supplementary angles. That means D plus A is going to give you 180 degrees. So if angle D is 52 degrees, we want to find the measure of angle A. All we do is we take, if they're supplementary angles, they add up to be 180. Just take 180 minus your angle, which is 52. So angle A is going to be equal to 128 degrees. Okay, example 2. Opposite sides of grams are congruent. That means AD is congruent to BC, and AB is congruent to CD. So if if BC is equal to 18, what's the measure of AD?
18.
18. They're opposite sides. That means they're going to be the same length.
Well, wouldn't DC and AB be the 18 also? Or are they congruent?
You don't know that for sure. There's no way you can tell that unless it's given. So if AB was like 15, and this isn't drawn to scale, so it looks like it, but you can't just go by what the picture looks like. If AB was like 15, then DC would be 15. If they're blank, you don't know for sure, so you can't just assume that they're all equal. Okay, practice problem number 1. Go ahead and bring it up and drop it off. Alright, answer for this one should be -6. Alright, bonus number 2. Okay, answer is -7. At least he's honest, that's good.
I should money just for being honest.
Alright, we want to find the measure of angle B. We have the measure of angle C. To find the measure of angle B, these angles are consecutive. Since they're next to each other, that means that they are
congruent. No, I mean, oops, supplementary.
Supplementary, that's right. Supplementary angles
So.
add up to be 180 degrees. So to find angle B, we need to take 180 minus angle C, which is 108. So our answer should be 72 degrees.
Andy, you got it right. Yeah.
Okay, answer for this one should be -24.
Okay, Dylan, I was on your side.
Okay, answer should be -20. Alright, solution for practice problem number 2. We want the length of BC. AD and BC are called what?
Congruent.
Congruent, which means they're equal. So BC should be equal to 11. Okay, extra credit number 1. Okay, example problem number 3. Parallelograms, their diagonals bisect each other. What does bisect mean? It means it's going to cross it and it's going to cut it in half. So DB, this line bisects AC. That means that whatever A to the middle, we'll call that point E. AE is going to be equal to EC, and DE will be equal to EB. So when it cuts the line in half, each side is going to be the same length. Okay? So if A to the middle, we'll call it E. If AE is 22 units long, then EC is also going to be 22. Okay? Cuts it in half. So if DE is 18 or something, we'll say that EB, it's going to be equal 18. Cuts it in half, okay? So DB total, what's that going to be?
That's going to be 36.
Right, this whole entire line is 36. Okay, example number 4. If the diagonals bisect each other, and D to the middle, we'll call it E. If DE is 16, what's the length of X?
16.
16, they're going to be equal. Alright, good. Okay, practice problem number 3.
I fixed it. I taught myself.
Okay, answer should be 4. Straight to the solution. Solution for practice problem number 3. HF is going to be equal to 30. Let's say the length of HC. EG bisects HF. That means it's cutting this line in half. So we take half of 30, and each of these sides should be 15. So HC should be 15. Do the homework tonight. Okay, for example number 5, we want to find the volume of the cylinder. The formula for the volume of the cylinder, make sure you write this down. The formula is V is equal to pi times R squared times H. Now what is pi?
3.14.
3.14. You also have a pi button on your calculator, and that'll give you a more accurate answer when you're doing these problems.
159. Yeah.
Okay, so if H is equal to 4 and R is equal to 2, all we're going to do is plug these numbers in. So we have pi times R, which is 2. We square R. Multiply that by H, our height, which is 4. So that gives us pi. 2 squared is 4, and 4 times 4 is 16.
Which is about 50, just rounding to the nearest ones.
Alright. Well, you should go ahead and just round it to the nearest hundredths. We'll say 50.24. That's a more accurate answer when you just put the pi instead of 3.14. Okay, in this one we have our volume. What we need to find is our height. So our formula is V is equal to pi r squared times our height. We're going to do the same thing we just did, plug in our numbers. Our V in this case is 141.37. That's equal to pi times r squared. That's 3 squared times RH. We don't know what that is yet. So we have 141.37 is equal to 9 pi times h. Now we want our h by itself. What are we going to do to get h by itself?
You're going to have to take the 9 over there.
We're going to divide.
Divide.
We have 9 pi times our h right now. To undo the multiplication, if it's multiplied by h, we need to divide that number out. When we divide 9 pi over 9 pi is just 1, right? And 1 times h is going to give us h. So we divide by 9 pi on both sides. We would divide 141.37 by 9 pi. Alright, we get about 5.00 and a bunch of other numbers. We're just going to round that to 5. Remember, if we're rounding it to the hundreds place, then it's 5.00. 5 is going to be our answer. So our height is 5. I'll send it to Mr. Skinner, but I'm not sure really.
If it doesn't, then that means we get out homework.
No, because you can write it down right now.